It was my first day on the force, day one on the far, far away PD, and I've already been assigned my first case. How exciting! The case was about multiple serial rapings and killings citywide. The only evidence ever recovered was strange, green, thick liquid and rotten onions. My co-officers for the case were Lieutenant Charming and Sergeant Farquaad. The brains of the police department, Dr. Dumpty, triangulated the murders and located the next potential crime scene. Sergeant Farquaad drove us to the house. I kicked open the front door, revolver loaded, but we were too late. Broken furniture, bloodstains, and rotten onions littered the house. Me and Lieutenant Charming would go upstairs, Sergeant Farquaad would go down. We inspected the house, nothing important to be found. But in what seems to be the child's room, we found a message in blood on the wall. It was inscribed, "Somebody once told me the world was going to roll me. I ain't the sharpest tool in the shed." Then I heard a muffled scream from downstairs. Charming and I rushed downstairs to investigate. What we found was sickening. Sergeant Farquaad was hung by his feet from the ceiling, his mouth and anus overstuffed with onions. I began to retch and vomit on the floor. Charming closed his eyes and bit his lip. When we continued downstairs, we found more bodies. That of a family, it seems. They were propped up like they were about to be penetrated from their posterior. Then we noticed him. In the back of the room, a hulking character stood. He withdrew something from his trousers and threw it. The object was a black onion. I dodged it, and it hit Charming right in the face. He began to yell and shout as his face melted off. Nothing was left of him. I began to open fire on the being, but it had no effect. Then he stepped into the light. It was Shrek. I dropped my weapon and fell on my knees. Tears ran down my face. Shrek, is it really you? Yes, lad, and you tried to kill me. No, I whimpered. I didn't know it was you. Please. For that, he bellowed, you shall rot in Shrell. He takes another black onion and aims it at me. No, I yell. There must be a way for me to redeem myself. Please. I begin to cry hysterically and curl up on the floor. Maybe there is, lad, he says. He hands me the black onion. Stay tuned for the conclusion in part 3.